everyone. It's me, your girl, Katie B Hair. I am so excited to be here today to talk about color corrections. Color corrections usually scare everybody, and Rusk has a very magical tool that can help any color correction not be as scary. And that's what I'm going to get into. And if you guys can't join today and you're just hopping on and off real quick, I will be saving this on my page, and so will Rusk. And if you guys have any questions, Rusk is in the house, aka Ashley. She is on the other side. If you guys have any questions, put them in the comments and she will answer to them. Let's get into some housekeeping work first. So you guys, I am going to be at the BTC show. I'm going to be teaching there with Ashley and David. Do not miss out. Our class is going to be Sunday and Monday. You guys are going to get tons of great education. And I also feel like the class that we're going to have is a class you'll walk away from learning something, feeling something. Like, we're really putting a lot into this, Ashley and I, for the BTC show, for you guys to want more of it and really see what Rusk is about. So make sure you check us out when you guys come to Dallas, and I'm excited to meet all of you. I've had tons of you guys already reaching out to me, excited to come meet me. And we're going to have giveaways. We're going to have all sorts of stuff. You guys will be able to buy Rusk products there. You're going to be able to buy, so it's going to be good. All right. So first things first, let's talk love, hugs, and you guys, so David right there, that is Rusk's leader, David. He is the CEO. He's amazing. He keeps everything running. And then right below that is Rusk, aka Ashley, who's like the queen bee, an amazing, amazing supportive person. So love seeing you guys on here. All right, let's get into color now. With color corrections, I feel like too often when you want to do a correction, you're going to go in with bleach right away. Bleach is good, but there's a time and a place, and especially when you're working with hair that is compromised, you don't want to go straight in with bleach if you don't have to. So what I like to do is go in, and I have Rusk's little tool here. Not little, it packs a punch. This is Rusk Eliminate. This is their color corrector. We have the silver box, and then we also have the dye remover, which I would have right here, but I have it in my studio that I do my clients in. This is my home studio. So when you're looking at our color correctors and removers, the silver, this is going to help with removing like your box color, removing red hair color, brunettes. The black box is going to help with direct dyes. Let me point out the difference between the two before I get in deep on them. So with Eliminate, the gray box color corrector, this will not shift their base. So pretend you're putting it on my hair. We know my hair needs my roots done. I'm waiting right before the show. But say I was wanting to remove this orange out of my hair. If I took the gray silver box and I put this on my hair and touched my virgin hair and went from root to end, it's not going to shift my natural base at all. I do not have to worry about that. The black box, our direct dye remover, you're going to need to isolate the hair because you will get a shift in the base. So when you are grabbing for the two, we're pretending this is the Eliminate black box. Bear with me, you guys. I use it a lot and it's at my studio, and so that's why I don't have it in my home one. That is the difference between the two. Eliminate is not going to adjust, shift, or do anything to their natural versus the black box is. All right. The next thing about Eliminate is this. Anyone that has gotten their hands on it, absolutely obsessed because of what it is capable of doing. Before we get into the step-by-step process, I've been trying my best because I can sit here and talk up a storm with you guys. I have my little list and everything here that I'm going to talk about it, very formal, and then I'll get into how I use it and how we work with it. Ready? All right. What is Eliminate? Rusk Eliminate Color Corrector gently removes unwanted permanent color with a non-progressive, precise control formula that contains no ammonia, peroxide, bleach, or formaldehyde. That is very, very important, especially when you are working with compromised hair that is very fragile and you're wanting to keep it in the best integrity you can before you hit it with color or lightener. Gently removes any level of permanent oxidative color, no matter how long it has been in the hair. Reverses the bonds of oxidative color dye molecules, allowing for safe and effective color removal, bringing the hair back to its pre-colored state, promotes unsurpassed shine and condition. So what I just read right there is the precise control that it has. When I am working with Eliminate, it has a creamier consistency. When you're working with it, it's not like you're working with water. So it's gonna go exactly where you put it, and it is gonna really stay there for you. I thought they stopped making Eliminate. I can't find it. We have not. It is still here. Go on to ruskpro.com, sign up on ruskpro.com, and you can purchase Eliminate there and any other of your Rusk needs. And Ashley can help you with getting your hands on it as well. All right, let's get into the next one. Removes oxidative color without compromising the integrity of the hair. Can be used for a subtle color change or all over color removal. And then what did I say, you guys? It has no ammonia, no peroxide, no bleach, no formaldehyde. Very, very important when it comes to keeping the hair healthy pre-color correction, because color corrections, you are already either working with compromised hair or you might be compromising that hair. As gentle as we are, no matter what we do, when you are hitting it with lightener, that is what's going to happen. You guys, you can use Eliminate up to 3 times in one day. So if you use Eliminate, you go in with your color corrector, color remover, and your first pass, you're like, it's still not there. Go in a second time. Still not there. You're working with that 10 years of black box color that won't budge. That's all right. Eliminate's got you. Go in for a third time. The hair is not going to get compromised. How I told you, there's no ammonia, there's no peroxide, no bleach, no formaldehyde. The hair is going to be good for you to be able to use it up to 3 times in one day. Formulate 1 to 2 levels lighter than targeted shade. I'm very thirsty, you guys. All right. Now I'm going to show you guys on my tablet the black box and what it looks like, since I don't have it here, since I use it in my studio. So that is Eliminate, the Direct Dye Eliminator. What does it do? Rusk Eliminate Direct Dye Eliminator is a direct dye lift for semi-permanent, unique liquid formula with conditioning agent. Kit includes all the stuff that's in it, and we'll get into that. So like I said, you guys, the difference between the two, this one is not going to shift the base. You can put it on their natural root and it's going to remove the color pigment only. You're not going to get any shift in the base whatsoever. Is this like Pravana color remover? It's been ages, honestly, since I worked with it. I feel like Rusk Eliminate is its own beast compared to any other color remover that I have worked with, and I'm definitely going to get into that, and I will tell you all about it, because I've had my hands on tons in color corrections, and not just because I'm with Rusk. I love Eliminate, but I love Eliminate. I wouldn't be talking about it if I didn't. It'd be a product to push to the side. So I think it's the highest standard of a color remover that is out there on the market right now. Let's get into it. How does it work? So this is how the mix ratios and all that. Okay, we have stayed on target with my little list that I had for you guys. How does Eliminate work when you're going into a color process? Let's open her up. All right, so you have your client. She's in your chair. And we're going to say we're working with Sally Sue that has been coloring her hair at home with box dye for years and years and years. And when they're coloring their hair at home with box dye, what are they doing, you guys? They're not doing what we do, where we're just touching the roots and refreshing with a gloss. They are layering and layering and layering and layering and layering. They're layering it because they don't know any better, which is fine. That's why we're the professionals. So she's sitting in your chair. When you pull out the kit, you're going to have 3 bottles, okay? So when you pull them out, each bottle is going to be numbered. We have number 1, we have number 2, and then we have number 3. What you're going to do is you're going to make sure that you get number 1 and 2, and you're going to mix them in a bowl with equal parts. So what you're going to do is you're going to combine 1 part 1 and 1 part 2 into a bowl and blend it up. Then what you're going to do is you're going to go over to your client. I put them into 4 quadrants. We're going to have 2 front and 2 back, and you're going to start to apply the color remover where you need it. And like I said, with the silver box, if we're removing the color and they have outgrowth, if you're applying it from here to your ends and you're getting it on their root, it's not going to shift it. You're not going to now have another correction with their natural color. So start applying in thin sections, working your way up section by section. I typically like to place a foil right here. So what I'll do is I will take my little section here. I will take my color. I'll put a foil here and I apply it and drop it. That's the only foil I'll use. And then I'm going to work up in horizontals, dropping it down. That's foil is going to help protect their face. And I'm going to do it on both sides and I do it on the back. So we're going to mix 1 and 2. I usually just pour both of them into the bowl because then that's giving you your equal parts. It's going to be a thick, creamy consistency. Ensure quick and easy, precise application. Now, you want to process for 20 minutes with or without heat. I do not have your typical like a heat lamp. I don't have any heat in my studio. So if I know I'm working with somebody that has a ton of buildup of color that we're needing to really remove and I need that heat, what I like to do is I take a processing cap, I cut the back of it so it's not going to be tight on their head. I place it over their head and I let their body heat in their head create the heat within it, and you're going to process it up to 20 minutes. Then this is the part that can go wrong, and I want you guys to really, really take note and listen. So after you have processed 1 and 2 with or without heat up to 20 minutes, we are going to go wash them. If after applying step 3, after shampooing, hair goes back dark, repeat process. And that's what I'm talking about is if hair goes dark, it's because you are not doing this correctly. So I'm going to rinse the hair for 5 minutes. I'm going to sit there and I am going to rinse 1 and 2 that I put in my bowl. I'm going to rinse their head for 5 minutes. It's kind of like the same thought process as when you're working with a perm at the bowl. That's what I think about when I'm getting to the bowl to work with the Eliminate and making sure that I'm rinsing. I'm setting a timer. I literally have my old school traditional timer that I bring over to the shampoo bowl, turn it to 5, and I'm washing. Then here comes the really important part. So what Eliminate is doing is it's taking that color molecule and it is shrinking it down. It is shrinking it down to a super tiny size. And when it does that, when we are shampooing, that's when we're going to start to remove that color pigment out of the hair. So when we are doing it, we are going to use the heat from our hands and we are going to work down the hair shaft. I don't want to mess up my hair, so we're going to kind of pretend on my hair. We're going to take our hands and we are going to rub. We are going to create friction. We are going to scrub-a-dub-dub on their hair with the shampoo, and we are really going to work knowing in our head there is color pigment on that hair that I need to remove out. And this is the biggest step for me to get it removed out is the shampooing. Because if you do not shampoo, you will be shampooing for 5 minutes. So you rinse for 5 minutes, then we're going to shampoo for 5 minutes. And just really work, get that friction, get the heat from your hands, rubbing on their hair, and then we're going to milk the hair. Yes, milk it. So think of a cow when we are milking. Now let's think of hair with that same sort of like technique. We're going to milk to pull off the pigment from the hair. So after we have created friction and we're getting that color molecule that we have shrunken down, we are now going to milk the hair as we're getting towards the end of that shampoo service. So we're going to go squeeze off, squeeze off, squeeze off, squeeze off. And you're just going to be working through and squeezing and squeezing and squeezing and really making sure you're getting that color pigment out and removed from the hair. I sometimes will even shampoo twice. It's so important to make sure that your shampooing is done correctly, because what I hear is when people use Eliminate, they're like, it went back dark. Why did it go back dark after you've done all these steps? Is because you did not shampoo, milk the hair, friction the hair, and really get that color molecule out. That is the biggest flaw that happens, because what is your next step? So we've done 1 and 2 on the hair, processed up to 20 minutes with or without heat. We have washed them for 5 minutes with just water. Then we have shampooed up to 2 times in a milking and removing the pigment off the hair. Now we're going to come in with a low developer. So this is part 3. This is part 3. I say it's a developer. It's essentially like you're using a 10 volume. Now, when we go on and apply the 10 volume, this is when the hair goes dark. And why would it go dark? The hair is going to go dark because you have not removed that color molecule. And when you add the 10 volume, it's going to therefore make that molecule back to size. And then the hair is going to go dark on you. Okay, so we're then going to apply the number 3, and we're going to let that bad boy sit for its time. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. It seems very intimidating when you're like, there's so many steps, there's so many parts. It's like, when you think about going in and doing a perm, and you have your box, and you have all these different chemicals and components that you're supposed to use on the hair, and you don't want to mess them up because you're taking that time. So make sure you guys are really reading over the directions. And sorry, I'm kind of blind right now. I'm trying to see. Eliminate, it goes over on the front what it does, but you are also going to get the directions. Here they are. I thought they were in here. Rust always gives its instructions. So you're going to come into the box and you're going to find this. So say you're watching this and you're like, I remember Katie telling me this, and this, but what do I do? You're going to come into here and you're going to look on here, and it has for slight color corrections, tips for successful color corrections, and then it has the instructions on it, step by step, on what you're supposed to do, from saying step 1 and 2, mixing them together, with or without heat, 3 to 5 minutes. You're going to want to shampoo. Depending on scalp condition of hair, do not repeat process more than 3 times. When desired level of color has been achieved, apply step 3, processing solution for 5 minutes. So your number 3, you're going to let that guy sit on for 5 minutes. So it's really going to walk you through step by step, verbatim, kind of what I just told you guys. I skimmed through this and told you guys what's on here. So do not be afraid of this. I want to say at first I was afraid of it. And usually I feel like we're afraid of things that we don't understand. And I was afraid of it because I didn't understand it. I was used to your color removers that come in a powder form, and it kind of looks like lightener you're mixing with. Those different color removers that are out there. And I feel like the application with those is so simple. So then that's what you kind of lean towards, because you're like, well, it's very cut and dry. I don't have to do this, this, and this. It's going to take so much time. I just need to do this. But The fact that you can use Eliminate up to 3 times on the hair when you're doing a color correction versus color removers out there, a lot of them, like, you're one and done. And you're going to have a shift in their natural base. You're not going to get this. And you can use it up to 3 times. So you can really get as much of that pigment out of that hair. Even if it's like professional color. Say we're not even talking about a client that has been at home coloring their hair. Say it's professional color you've been working on. This is going to make your life so much easier. It's the magic eraser of hair products. It literally is. When Ashley says that, I remember working with, there's 2 clients I had when working with Eliminate. And that was when I was finally like, all right, I can do this. I'm going to try this. I'm going to do it. And it was a redhead. And we all loathe redheads when we have to remove them out, because the red molecule is one of the largest color molecules that we have. So therefore, it is one of the hardest to get out once we have it in. And it is also the reason why it's the hardest to get in and falls out. It just is a back and forth with it. And usually when we're removing red color molecules, you're going to end up with like a pink color, or sometimes like that red orange. It's not a pretty color, and you get stuck. You get stuck at that awful red tone that you're like, oh my gosh, I can't push the hair anymore. I can't lighten it. But I went through and I used Eliminate on her red dye that she had done at home for years and years. It removed that dye. Like Rusk said, it's a magic eraser. It removed the red off of her hair. I was mind blown. And mind you, it was one of the first times I used Eliminate. So I'm like, all right, we're going to pull out the instructions. Even though I know what I'm doing, even though I've been taught the curriculum, I know how to do it. We're going to be OCD. Like, I followed it to the T. I was so scared. And when I got to the shampoo bowl and I started with seeing that color molecule change and come off, I mean, it was ugly underneath the red, because what do you expect? But I no longer had that red, and the hair wasn't compromised, and I was able to go back in with a lightener. I was able to balayage her, and it's as if the 3 times that I had used this on the hair, it didn't even happen. The hair was healthy. It was happy by the time I started lightening it. And so when I go to lighten it, I was able to do my rule of low and slow to get a really clean lift. And I don't want to toot my horn, but she was a gorgeous blonde by the time I was done, because I set myself up for success with using Eliminate before getting into my color correction. Because like I said, that's the difference between other color removers versus Eliminate, the integrity of the hair. If you have not used this product, please check it out. Truly the best product I've used. It literally is. It's one of those, like, I just kind of tiptoed around not using it for a long time. And once I did, it's like, you know, when you have those aha moments, you're like, oh, it clicked for me. If my stubborn Taurus self didn't sit there sticking in my own ways, I could have had much easier color corrections. And not that I've ever ruined anyone's hair, but the integrity would have been better, because I would have been pushing it harder if, per se, I had started with Eliminate first. So if you guys have any questions when it comes to Eliminate or color correctors, if you need to get your hands on them, go to ruskpro.com. If you're having any issues with trying to figure out and find it, because I know some of us are not technologically inclined, I struggle with it myself, you can send myself or Rusk a DM, and we can make sure you get the products that you need. We definitely have not stopped making it. She is here. She is amazing. You guys have to try it. If I were to talk about anything that could be better than it, there's nothing that could be better than it. The one thing that I do regret with it is not using it sooner. That's about it. All right, so a little bit about using Eliminate. So if you guys have a color correction coming up and you need any help or any questions, or you're excited to try it, I literally am here. Like, you want to throw me on FaceTime with you and have me walk you through it, I will, because this will set you up for success. And that client, when you nail that color correction, is going to be a lifelong client for you. Don't forget that. So pairing the right products that you need and those right tools to keep that hair beautiful, that is where we go to Rusk for Eliminate. All right, well, we went over that. I told you guys that Rusk is going to be at the BTC show. We're going to be teaching in our classroom for 2 days. My class with Ashley, it's going to be amazing. We started talking about it. You guys, if you come to Ashley and I's class, that's going to be on Sunday at the BTC show, it's going to be better than any class you've gone to. I mean, I'm setting a high bar here, and it's going to be different than something I've ever done in a class. Usually I sit there and do hair in front of you guys the whole time and talk about hair. This is going to be completely different than that, and you guys are going to have the chance to be able to win some really cool stuff. I have to keep my lips shut until we get it all set up and out there, but it will be very soon. You guys will be able to purchase products while you are there. Make sure you come and see me. I'm going to be wandering around. I want to meet all of you guys. I want to give you guys all hugs. And I just want everybody to be a part of the Rusk family. The Rusk family is like the best family that I'm obsessed with, and I just want to share my love with everyone. All right, I'm coming to the class. We can't wait to see you. All right, everyone. Well, you have a beautiful rest of your day, and stay tuned because every Tuesday, myself is coming on here, and if I'm not on here, you'll see Ashley or another Rusk educator bringing you guys education at no cost, tons and tons of knowledge for you guys to be successful behind the chair. All right, bye guys.